changer to the several position, okay? And this auxiliary axis WWQ is arranged in parallel to the main axis X, okay?
Okay.
So far so good. So, and now why we do it on that way? Why we have here a second channel available? I don't know, you know that, or you have a little bit more experience with Siemens, I don't know. If not, I will tell you short. Let's say the NCU we use on that machine, the designation of this NCU is 730.3. That means this is the latest, the most powerful NCU we can have in the moment. So, and that means also for this NCU, it is possible to control a maximum number of axes. Yeah, so, 31 is the maximum number of axes could be controlled by this unit, but this is not possible for main axis. Why not? Therefore, in case of a main axis, we have always two measuring systems assembled, the motor encoder and a direct measuring system. And so that means in this configuration, the processor responsible for positioning and axis control mechanism has or need the double time to evaluate the position signal of encoder and for the direct measuring system, okay? And so this is, therefore we need a bigger range of cycle time, and so this is limiting the maximum number of axes in the channel 1, okay? So far so good. And now again, 31 axis maximum, but here, let's say it must be minimum 6 axis a spindle, then we can have a special number of auxiliary axis, and then also we can have a special number of main axis, for example, with 2 measuring devices. And the total number of 31 axis maximum could be never controlled in one channel. Here we have to separate the 31 axis into 3 channels, okay? And every channel, depending again to the configuration, to the type of axis, we refer the maximum number of axes. Each channel is 10 axes. More is not possible. And 10, let's say, is the maximum in case of auxiliary axis. Why? What's the big difference between main and auxiliary axis? The big difference is an auxiliary axis, it's only used a small time during a tool or pellet change, and an auxiliary axis has only a motor encoder installed, no direct measuring system in use, okay? So therefore we can have here more axes referred to one channel, but also the limit is 10 axes, okay? So therefore it means we must have minimum 3 channels for the using the maximum axis configuration of 31 axes. Okay? So far so good?
Good question. Can you jog on this channel, can you jog from this area?
Yeah, sure. When I press the channel button again, so we are back by the, let's say, by the standard, by the channel 1. Yeah, therefore...
Well, channel 2 is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
You can jog. Okay.
Correct. You are right. Therefore, we have here only 2 channels configured. So the third channel is not configured by parameter, so therefore I cannot indicate it. It's not possible. It's not present for the control system in the moment, okay? So far so good? Maybe by I don't know, by a portal machine, or let's say like by a DMU 600. Here we have to use all the 3 channels. Why? Here we have much more access to control, to handle. Okay. In case of a DMU or DMC 600, we have let's say like 25 until 28 axes on one machine. Okay. So therefore also we have then 3 channels to configure, okay? But not in a standard machine, okay? Normally it's one channel enough, but in that case here, by a dual block here, we have the maximum number of option could be assembled here by a dual block, and so therefore, yeah, for the tool magazine and tool change system, we separate it in the second channel. Okay. When you think about actually now, a dual block could have 8 magazine discs. Okay, and so that means we have only 8 auxiliary axes for controlling the position of this number of discs. Okay, so then we have a tool changer and we have a cross axis minimum. So that means we have here 10 axes only for the tool management. Okay, that's why we need the channels. Okay, so far so good for everybody. Okay, guys, thank you for your response. Thank you too, yeah. So now we are back here by the normally indication, and also here for the axis position indication, I have to tell you a few things additional. Let's say here on the top, on the line number 4, you see here machine is written, and in the right vertical soft key bar, you see here the highlighted button, actual values machine. Can you see that?
Yep.
When I click to this vertical soft key, look what happened. Now in the headline 4, it's written work. And what it means that? This is determining which kind of coordinate system is active in the moment. Here we have the work coordinate system. So that means the position indication are referred to the used to the active 0-point offsets. Is this a help for us? No, boys. That's necessary for the operator. He has to check the positions regarding the 0-point offset. But for us, it's the worst case. Why? Yeah, here we have no reference of the real position, let's say, regarding the 0 and the tool change position and so on. This could be not checked if we have here the work coordinates active. That's bad for us. Therefore, again, click to the vertical soft key 7, actual values machine, and now it's highlighted, and now look what happened. Do you see now how big is the position indication difference? Can you see that? It's about 400-500 millimeter. Can you see that? So and now,
yeah, we see
where
it.
It comes from. Okay, thank you. Where it comes from. These values, boys, are determined by a 0-point offset. Okay? It's not a help for us. And also look additional, boys, here to the designation of the axis. Here you see the letter X, Y, C, Z. Let's say this is C, and now here B. But what is missing on the right side of the axis letters referred? What is missing here by work coordinates?
Auxiliary tool changer.
No. Have a look here. I will change once more. Now we have the machine coordinate, but not only the values is changing. What additional is changed?
Well,
now here you yes, X1, Y1, Z1, and that means you have always to put the focus is the axis designation letter indicated with the extended value 1. And that means then the right coordinate system is active, machine coordinate. And what it means that machine coordinate show you the position independent of the used 0-point offset directly in relation to the reference point, to the axis 0 position, absolutely 0 position, okay? So far so good? And that's what you like, that's what you must have indicated always in case of change position realignment. When you like to realign the axis to a more accurate position, yeah. So this indication must be active. Otherwise, your work is for nothing. Yeah? good? And the reason is, to the machine coordinate system, every value of change position is referred from the software. Okay? So therefore, this is the only true indication for this, for the whole range of change position adjustments. Independent, it's tool changer, bloom laser, pallet changer, whatever else, in that range. Okay? So far, so good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you, for your response. Now, also here, boys, another thing we have now indicated. When you look now here underneath, we see two axes, WWQ and WW, but with a dark gray background indicated. Why? Why? This background color is telling. Yes, correct, Mr. Arnell. The dark background bar here occur, therefore, these axes are referred to the second channel. That's correct. Okay, and look here, we are the indication now. It's referred to the first channel. Okay, so therefore you see here these dark gray bars behind the axis designation. It's indicated here too, but it belongs to the second channel. Okay, only to give you the right information why it happened here, this strange indication. Okay? So far so good? Do you have questions? Should I repeat something?
Good. Oh, good.
Okay, good. Thank you. On the right side of the axis position frame, we have here three areas. One is marked on the top with T. Here you can see the actually inserted tool, which one is in the spindle inserted actually. Then in the middle you see the frame F. The first value on the top is the actually feed rate, and the lower value is the programmed feed rate. If a different occur here, so this is depending to the feed rate override position. Okay? And also here on the right, you see the actually position of the feed rate potentiometer. I can turn it back. You see, now the value is smaller. It's now 20%, or I can turn it back to 0. Okay? So far so good?
Sounds good.
Okay. Also in the frame underneath, in the third frame, you see here S1, that's the main spindle. Also the first value is the actual speed. And also here in the right down corner, you see the percentage value of override. Remember, here we don't have a potentiometer. Here we have buttons. In the middle section of keys in the machine control panel arranged. Here we have a minus button, so we can go down in steps of 5% to 70, or sorry, let's say to 50. Then we have a 100% button there, and also then we have a plus button. We can increase the spindle speed until 120%. That's the range. Okay? So far so good? The big frame underneath, across the whole mask similarly, until from the left end of the light and gray window until the beginning of vertical soft key bar. This is the indication of program sentences and so on. If you run the machine in automatic mode or in MDI, you see here your programmed sentences, and so on. This is the field to indicate such things, okay? In the normally machine screen, okay? So far so good? Underneath here we have so-called horizontal soft key bar. Here you see several functions. They are used by the operators, for tool measurement, measure workpiece sizes, edges, surfaces, whatever, with the infrared touch probe or another unit, and so on. Also here then on the position 6, we have DMG Mori, but I think here we have specially things on here on the dual block. This is for, let's say, detecting here then by the next soft key assignment on the position F1. Here it's for detecting the vibration. Let's say here we measure always during every program run, is the spindle okay? Here you see the several activation of measurement. Also here for the spindle bearing. Also, let's say like we can switch off or on the especially vibration limit, and so on. Okay, here by the next buttons. This is depending which values are referred to a specially tool, or you can switch it off. Let's say the standard alarms you can deactivate, but not the collision detection until the time the MPC software is installed and active on the machine. The collision detection is always active, full automatic. Nobody can switch off it. It's not possible. Collision detection happen, boys, if you have a crash, as the designation tell you, and then if you exceed a shock of 20 G, 20 G, 20 G for the acceleration, if you have approximate 20 G or you exceed it, so then this alarm occur, and alarm means the machine stop, like emergency stop. Immediately the axes are powered off and everything is interrupted like that. Okay? Why? If in this size a percussion happen, let's say like a crash, so we have not to take care like by an emergency stop, we twist or we tilt an axis, or a tool maybe is broken, or we damage the surface of an workpiece. In such a case, if you have a crash with 20 G acceleration, so then the machine is damaged much more, okay? So therefore, immediately we power off the system, okay? That's the reaction. Okay, so far so good?
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
There have been times when I've installed a new machine and I've gotten that exact error. Do you know why that is?
Please describe me a little bit more detail the circumstance.
Well,
What you did exactly?
it's when installing a machine for the first time and powering it up for the first time. Sometimes I'll get that error. The last 3 machines I've installed, I got this exact error and I could not get rid of it. And
you mean you get the indication a crash value occur?
Yes. This alarm right here, the PNOS multi, this error, yeah. It says that a crash error occurred, but now somebody else comes in after me and fixes it, but I don't know what they do.
Yeah, okay. Regarding your words, Mr. Byron, I have also not really a logical explanation about that, but let's say the following. I don't know, we call it vibration sensor, but it's not a vibration sensor. The sensor is measuring the acceleration of especially weight within the sensor. And also this sensor must be assembled in a very accurate position. Otherwise, the internally, let's say, moving mass could not really do the correct measurement or cause the right signals. So now, let's say maybe during the transport, maybe you have a bad shock by a forklift, by the truck driver. He did not take care for the holes in the asphalt or whatever else, and maybe now this internally part of the sensor stick in one position. I don't know, things like that could happen. But basically, if such an error occurs, you can delete it, and you have a possibility, if you know how to do that. So you have in the control cabinet an orange box, and the orange box is called IFM module. The box itself is orange colored, and the front face it's like silver color plated with a sticker. Okay, and here it's written IFM box, like that. And this box is responsible to evaluate the sensor signal and send it then by the PLC, by the input outputs, or by the Profinet now to the processor. So, and now here you have now the possibility, let's say, to check like a teached value, and the teached value was prepared at the end of assembly, short before the machine left the factory. And with this acceleration, or let's say, with this acceleration values, this you can compare with the values you prepared in such a case after finishing assembly by the customer, okay? And here we have a specially teach mode, also to save and to save these vibration values by several spindle speed within the IFM box a second time, okay? That's like a reference value then, how good or how bad is the spindle after the machine arrive at the customer. Why? Nobody know what's going on during the transport or the shipment to the US, okay? So also the bearing in the spindle could be damaged also if the truck driver is searching every big hole he can find on the track. Like that, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
It's always a big percussion. But let's say to show you really the details, to teach you how to handle, how to read out the values from the units and so on, I think this you should write to a list of points you have to request when you stay here in Pfronten. I think now in the moment it makes no sense to go so deep in the detailed systems. Okay? But
Okay.
I hope my words are a little bit explaining the condition and what's going on and how you can solve it. Only let's say when you stay here in Pfronten, ask your trainer. They will show you. It's independent. It's a mechanic or an electrical trainer. All of us, they know that procedure. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's not really a help. I think I try to explain it, what's going on, and let's say also to give you a little bit an idea, maybe in which range you have to request something, and also maybe what you have to do the next time when you set up a machine, Okay?
Okay.
So far so good, boys.
Thank you.
Was this explanation sufficient enough for you?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, thank you, very well. So, now this is this range here. And also now when we go back to the standard assignment, so also here at the right end, please look with me together to the shared monitor. So we have here two quadrangular frames. In the first frame, you see an arrow symbol looking to the right. And that means, therefore, this arrow symbol occurs in the first window when we start counting from the left to right, 1, 2. So the arrow symbol is now located in the first frame. So that means this is the first soft key assignment horizontal. when we press once to this area, independent to which button, so now immediately after, the arrow symbol is jumping to the second position. And so now you know this is the second horizontal assignment of soft key function. Okay? Why is this important? Therefore, if you read a description or you like to prepare your own instruction for a specially use or for a special procedure, so you have not only to write click to this button 2 times or 3 times or more. No, you can directly say, okay, in the first, in the second, or in the third horizontal soft key assignment occur on the position, I don't know, 1, 5, 7, the correct soft key you like to look for or you like to describe, okay? So therefore you know always exactly which horizontal soft key assignment is actually visible, indicating, okay? By checking the position of the arrow, first or second position, okay? Later on, when we continue here with the operating modes of the control system, so then you will see in other operating mode, we have more than 2. We can have 3 or 4 such assignments available, okay? So far so good? What I like to tell you, okay? Now when we click again to the button, we are back in the first assignment. The vertical soft keys here are also arranged. We start here to count on the top. Here, G functions. When I click to that button, so you get indicated here a field, yeah, with the several G functions. You can scroll down, yeah, or select the right one, what you are like to use or whatever, yeah. Also then you can choose here the second soft key with auxiliary function. In the moment we have no one available, yeah, okay. Or let's say we can also here when we go down together to this vertical soft key 8, so you see here like a soft key bar indicated and on the right side an arrow. So this arrow tell you, okay, another assignment is available. When you click to that vertical soft key 8, so now the second vertical soft key assignment occur. Here you can see that it's an all G function, yeah, and zoom actual value, for example. When we say zoom actual value, so you can zoom in for the axis position window. Now you see the axis much bigger indicated if you don't need continuing the additional information indicated, okay? So it's easier to check the values, for example, yeah? Like that, okay? So far so good on that step, boys?
Yeah, that's good.
And when you click again the soft key 8, now it's referred to function back. So now you have the standard screen configuration available, okay? If you stay in the second vertical soft key assignment, look to the symbol on the soft key 8. Also here you see now again a symbolic soft key bar sign, and now the arrow is on the left side arranged and looking to the left. Sometimes it's very hard to remember which sign is telling me which function, but for me personally, it's very easy to keep it. Why? Only you have to think about, you have a white paper in front of you where you start to write. Normally in the left upper area of the page, and you write to the right side, to the right end of the page. So that means if the arrow looks to the right side, so something else is additional behind, and if the arrow looks to the left, to the beginning, so that means you go back to the source, to the first assignment, okay? That's the explanation for me. I can keep it, okay? It's up to you. Maybe you find a better way. So then you can tell me when we meet us here in Pfronten. Okay? Is this so far so good, boys? For the moment, do you have questions? Okay. Now look with me together now to the right upper corner of this soft gray frame. Here now you see 8 additional function button indicated. And here you can take the information if this happened. So you must have installed minimum an NC software 04.07. Okay? Why is this important? Important therefore, if you have a little bit more experience with the cinematic control, so then you know by this version a lot of problems we have with the version 04.05 operate and 04.05 silos included, let's say like that. So they are gone, okay? And the first time by the introduction of the NC version 04.07. something, we got the indication of these 8 additional buttons in the right upper corner. If the buttons did not occur in that position, so then you know you have a software version lower than 407, like 207, 405 or whatever, like that, okay? Why is this important to know? Therefore, when you look here to this button in the left upper corner of this range, you see here the capital letter M and a bracket underneath and above. Can you see that? We call it, this is the machine button on the keyboard, and here on the screen, it's the button menu select, independent of the indicated symbol. Okay? That's only an example now. Okay? So far so good? By all the versions before 04.07, this button and the function menu select was indicated here in front, in the left upper corner, in front of the red arrow window. That was the location in the past of indication and of use of menu select function. Okay? So far so good? This is a big difference, I think. You should know that. Maybe if you have a controller in front of you with no buttons here in the right upper corner, so I hope you can remember my words. Okay? So far so good?